Hi everybody, this is Michelle with OWLET Stampers, and today we are making a super adorable card using the Jar of Flowers bundle, and we're going to be making this really adorable card. So this is in the new annual catalog, and make sure that you like this video because that helps me out. But also, at the end, I'm going to tell you how you can get a free tutorial for this card and 3 other additional cards. So stick around to the end so you can find out how to get the free tutorial. All right, let's dive in and start making this really cute card. And let me show you some of these awesome products we're going to be using. Okay, we're going to be using the Jar of Flowers stamp set. And this is in a bundle and comes with the mason jar punch. It's super cute. And it has these different flowers that you can use all year round. It's really awesome. It's a photopolymer stamp set. And some of these images are reversible. So these ones, you can make the jar a solid or like this, and the same with this one and this image right here. So today we're going to be making this really, really cute card. And do you see those mason jar domes? And I don't know if you can see that glitter stuff in there, but this is what we're going to be making today. So to get started, you obviously need the Jar of Flowers bundle. You're going to need some Whisper White and Thick Whisper White, and then I'm also using this beautiful paper that is in our new annual catalog, and it is called, let me find the name of it, In Good Taste Designer Series paper. It comes in a really big stack, and it's 12 by 12, and there are all these beautiful different designs, wood grains, and textures in here. So that's where this piece of designer series paper came from. Okay, so and then I have a label from the Stitch So Sweetly as well. We're gonna fold our Thick Whisper White cardstock. This is 5.5 by 8.5. We're just gonna fold that in half. And let me grab my bone folder. Okay, so this is the base of our card. And then we're going to take this piece, and this measures the wood. It's going to measure 5.5 by 4.25. So it is the exact same size as our card. So this is going to go directly over top. Now, we're going to take our jar punch. We're going to flip it over. We're going to open up. You just press this up, and then we're going to put this in and kind of center it. I'm pushing it in all the way, and then we're going to just punch out that jar just like that. Now you can save this if you want to reuse it. And there we have it. See? Just like that. Okay, now we're going to, I am going to bring in my my paper piercing mat. This is a photopolymer set, and so I'm going to, well, I can get rid of this envelope. I'm going to, we're going to stamp the inside of the jar first. So I'm going to be using this image right here and then the stems. And I'm going to be using the Memento Black ink because I'm going to be coloring these images in with the Stampin' blends. All right, so here is my jar, and I'm just gonna stick that on there. And I cut this out so that it is the same size, so I know exactly where to layer this when I go to attach it, because we're gonna be using one of those new domes. So this will fit perfectly inside. I just need to bring it down a little bit so I can see it, make sure I stamp it right. So sorry if I go out of your view for just a second. I just don't want to get my head in there. Maybe I still will, I don't know. I'm just going to stamp this right in here. And perfect. So that's how I did that part. Then I can remove this now because I did that so I could line it up. Let me clean off the stamp really quick with our chamois. Love my chamois. Just use water to clean off our stamp. And then we're going to take the stems and we're going to line them up so they are right below the lid of the jar. So again, just inking it up in my Memento. And I'm going to stamp those right there like that. There we go. Okay, so that part is done. Now we can take, since we're stamping, I just have a scrap piece of Whisper White, and we're going to stamp our flowers. And I used, I'll show you what image I used, but we're just going to stamp that in Memento as well on a scrap piece of Whisper White. Just making sure it's all inked up really good. Okay, so stamp that just on a scrap. And we're done with the black ink now. So now we can, we're going to color this in with some blends. And I'll show you what color I'm using. You can use any colors that you like. So I grabbed some colors right here. So I'm going to start with the dark mint macaron. And I'm going to be using that just to color in my stems. And I'm just like lightly coloring them in with this. So, okay, and then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the dark Pool Party and kind of add in a little bit of shadows from the mason jar, just so it's not completely just white. And even some of those mason jars are like a blue color. So I have the dark Pool Party, and I'm going to take the broader end, we can get the top off, and I'm just going to add in kind of like where these little marks are. I'm just adding a line of Pool Party. Actually, I am going to use this broad tip, the brush tip I mean. So I'm just adding in a little bit, and then where these little dashes are across, I'm actually going to just add a few across there too. And then just a little bit at the bottom. Just so they can tell this is a jar. All right, so that's that. I'll lift it up so you can see it. So here is our jar so far. So now, and because I used light colors, it didn't really bleed in the inside. I didn't like really saturate it. I just very lightly added those colors. Now, if it did, you could just add a piece of white on the inside. So next we're going to color these flowers right here. And I decided to use dark Flirty Flamingo for these really big color flowers. Now, in our new annual catalog, we do have some new Stampin' Blends coming out. I believe we have some in all of the new in colors except for the Bumblebee. And then we have a new Melon Mambo coming out. So I'm very excited about that. I can't wait to order those. So this is just dark Flirty Flamingo. And we're coloring these in. And then, here we go. I need to do this one over here. And then this one down here. And then we can add a few highlights and switch colors. So again, these are our alcohol markers and they don't leave harsh lines and they're just awesome. So I'm just going over some of these lines a second and a third time, and then a little bit at the bottom and up here just to give it a little dimension. And then we're going to go in with, actually let's do our mint macaron and add in the stems. This is dark pool party. That's not the right color. That we want the dark mint macaron. So I'm gonna just color in these stems and leaves, some of the leaves. These little sprig things we're gonna color in with light shaded spruce next. So just take your time and color these. I'm trying to go a little bit faster, but this little stem up here and this one, and then these down here need to be, I think I just colored all this in green. Again, you could use any of your greens that you like. Okay, I think, oh, that one right there. I think I got that part. Next, we're gonna take the light shaded spruce and we're going to color in these little, like, I don't know, these little sprig thingies. With the light shaded spruce. And then we have one over here. Again, stick around for the end if you want the tutorial. I'll tell you how to get it for free. And we have a few over here. And don't forget to subscribe to me if you haven't already. Okay, so there's that. The next thing we're gonna do for these flowers here is I took the light Night of Navy. We're gonna use that to do some highlighting, and the dark Seaside Spray. So we're gonna start with the dark Seaside Spray, and we're going to color in these flowers with the dark Seaside Spray. And this one up here. I missed a pink flower. I can go back and add that. Okay, so I got my dark Seaside Spray. Now I'm going to take my light Night of Navy, and I'm going to, in the centers and kind of along the bottom, I'm just going to add a little bit of dark Night of Navy. And then I'm going to come in with my, that's light Night of Navy. I'm going to take my dark Seaside Spray and just blend that out. It's very, very easy to do. And you just keep blending till you get those lines out. It might be easier for you to do one flower at a time. I'm just doing them all at once. Okay, so we have that part done. I'll put our top center markers. And we're gonna grab, I forgot one flower over here in the Flirty Flamingo, so I'm gonna color that one in. And then the last thing we're gonna do, well, one of the last things, there's a few more little flowers, and we're gonna add the dark Daffodil Delight and add some little pop of color with the yellow in here. All right, I think we got it. We're also going to take our Wink of Stella and add a little bit of sparkle to some of these flowers. I'm just doing the blue and the pink. And it might not show up on film or in the videos, but I promise the little sparkle is there. Let me lift it up and show you. You can see a little bit of sparkle there. Okay, so we're gonna hand fussy cut this out really quick. So I'm just gonna cut it out really fast. These are pretty easy to cut out if you do want to pop them up. And I just like to leave just a little white edge, and you don't have to go around it perfectly either. So it is easy enough to do. Okay, see, we're almost about halfway done already. But I wanted to show you step by step how I made this card so you can recreate it, because it is a really awesome stamp set and bundle. There is so much you can do with this. I'm just gonna cut this off. It's getting in my way. Okay, so now we have this piece right here. We're gonna take this little image here, and we are gonna bring in another brand new stamp set called Lovely You, and that's because the jar of flowers doesn't have any sentiments. So this one has some really pretty sentiments, and I love the font, and I'm gonna use the one that says Let's Cheer You Up. And we're going to just use a little bit of Early Espresso ink, and we're going to stamp it off on the side here. And then we're going to trim this down and get to the good stuff. So I'm just stamping it more to the right, just like that. And now we're going to assemble our fun little shaker, the little shaker part. So this is the exciting part that you've been waiting for. So we need what are these called? Flowers for Every Season gems. You're going to want these. Look at how pretty they are. There's some clear little beads in there and some green, and then some that have a little sparkle to them. They're really, really pretty. And then you need the Mason Jar Shaker Dome. So these come in a pack of 10, and they look like this. And you're just going to want to pop one out. And so this little white is adhesive on the front and the back to create that dome. And we're going to put some of that pretty filler in there. So we just need one of those so I can take care of the rest of these. And I think we're about ready. I'm just going to grab some dimensionals. Okay, I'm done with the markers, so I'm putting those away. And with our punch. Okay, so we're going to bring this back in here. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna flip this over on the back side, and you're gonna peel off this adhesive from the front, the top piece. If I can do it. I have like no nails, so I need my little, there we go. So see, this just comes right off. And then it is going to just fit perfectly in where we punched it out. So I'm just pressing that down, and this is what it looks like. Can you tell? So now I am going to add some of my adhesive along the edge. Of the card. And I'm going to peel off the back too. So that just comes off just like that. Now I'm going to set this aside, and what we're going to do, let me get this mat out of the way. I have a big table, but it's like losing space. So I'm going to take some of these beads, and I'm just going to take a little handful, and I'm just going to sprinkle some right over this little card. So you can add as much or as little as you want. I'm going to do about that much. Actually, a little bit more. So I'm setting the beads right on there, just like that. Except for you don't want them to fall off, so I'm going to move them back. Let me put a good crease in here too. Okay, so there. So my beads are just sitting right on top of that jar. Now I'm going to take this, which we added. You can see we remove that and remove that. This is the exact size of our card. So if I line it up, it should be perfect. Should. So there we have it. Look at that. With the glare, the little shakers are in there. And then your card just opens up like this. Okay, let's finish it off. We have our flowers here. We're gonna pop those up with some dimensionals. I'm gonna put two, one at the top and the bottom. This is just such a cute card. And these are going to go just right up here like this. Then we're going to take this little sentiment and we are going to trim it down. And so I'm just going to cut off like that. And then this should tuck right in like that. So let's add that down with just some regular adhesive. We're going to tuck that in. And then the last thing we're going to do is I added this bow. So how I did that is I took the braided linen thread, trim, ribbon, whatever this stuff is called. And this is a brand new one. You can tell I love it. I keep going through it. And I'm going to take a piece. I'm going to just kind of measure from one side of the jar to the other, and I'm just going to cut it. So I don't know how long it is. You just do what I just did. So it's a little piece like that. And we're going to take a mini glue dot on each end and then tack it down. So there might be a different way to do it. This is how I did it. I'm showing you how I did it when I designed the card. So I just have a mini glue dot on each end. And I'm going to just pretend like it is wrapped around the jar of our mason jar. And then we're just going to make one more additional bow. So I have my bow right here. And we're going to tie it. And then we're going to trim the ends. And then we're just going to put this down with another mini glue dot. I figured this card is already, if you mail it, it's going to take extra postage. So why not add another bow? Because it's already bulky. And it's going to look so cute with this bow. So I'm just adding the bow to it just like that. And there is our card. Let me put the lid on this so these do not go all around. And there's our card. So let me know what you think. Do you love this cute little mason jar card? They're just super fun. So, all right, so if you would like to get this free tutorial with all the directions and how to make this card step by step with some pictures, make sure you sign up for my email list. If you're not signed up, you can click the link below and sign up for my email list. That's how you'll get the tutorial for this card and 3 other awesome cards that I'm featuring for the new catalog. If you're already signed up, then you will get the tutorial. Thank you for joining me today, and I will see you next time. Bye.